At Italy, Jack is out for a stroll with a journalist he recently met named Dina. As they are about to part ways, Jack wants to go in for a kiss until an old colleague of Jack's named Greg comes in to totally ruin the moment. He leaves with Greg and misses his chance with Dina. A while later, Jack's sister Haley is getting married to Roberto. Their friends Rebecca and Brian are in attendance, with the latter being Haley's maid of honor. Also showing up is Jack's obnoxious ex-girlfriend Amanda and her insecure boyfriend Chaz. Rebecca introduces them to an old roommate Sydney. Everyone goes to the wedding where Haley and Roberto are pronounced husband and wife. At the reception, Jack is surprised to see Dina there as she was invited by Haley and had just broken up with her cheating boyfriend. Brian wants to impress one of the guests, Italian film director Vitelli, hoping he will land Brian a role in one of his new movies. Rebecca has a crush on Brian and tries to get closer to him. To complicate things, an old schoolmate of Haley's named Mark has shown up uninvited and aims to sabotage the wedding to win over Haley. Haley finds Mark and learns what he's trying to do. She asks Jack to help drug him so he cannot ruin the wedding. Jack does so, but some kids switch the name cards on the table to rearrange the guests. This puts Jack next to Amanda and Chaz and has Brian drink the drug champagne. Jack tries to get Dina alone from Sydney. Meanwhile, Brian tries to talk to Vitelli, but he's already starting to fall asleep and makes a fool of himself. Chaz confronts Jack because he won't stop obsessing over the fact that Amanda thinks Jack has a bigger penis. He tries to insult Jack but only ends up confusing him, and he tells Chaz that he and Amanda hate each other. Haley sees that Mark is still awake and pleads with Jack to do something about him. When Jack goes to find Mark, he reveals that he and Haley had sex 3 weeks earlier and is threatening to let Roberto know about it. Jack gets Sydney and drags Mark into the closet, tying him up there. Brian is called up to give his speech. He slurs through the whole thing and directly references Vitelli, thinking he's just having a dream. He spots the wedding cake and grabs a big chunk of it with bare hands and stuffs in his face before Jack gets him away. Dina is then called away on a work errand and must leave. Jack tries to go after her but is found by Amanda after Chaz told her that Jack hates her. Jack tries to cover his back but then flat out tells her that their relationship was nothing but misery. She responds by headbutting him and giving him a bloody nose. Mark is freed from the closet by another lady and he rushes to the mic to blurt out that he and Haley had sex. Haley grabs him off the stage and starts hitting him, but Roberto asks if it is true. He realizes it is and he walks away. Haley follows him and tries to explain herself, but Roberto declares that the marriage is over. Things get more chaotic and Roberto falls over the ledge. The now real scenario is Jack accidentally drinking the drugged champagne. He runs to the bathroom and tries to puke it out, but cannot force himself to do it, so he tries to get Brian to do it for him. Dina walks in on them and they are embarrassed. Jack returns to the table and tries to listen to Dina as she talks about how her mother died of cancer, but despite trying hard to stay awake, he ends up passing out and it pisses Dina off. Afterwards, Amanda tries to tell Jack about how Chaz proposes to her, but he is asleep for that too. Jack picks himself up and goes to find Mark. Brian gets Jack and takes him outside, where Jack says that he's a screw up, but Brian assures him that he's a good friend and a brother. When Mark mentions his affair to Haley, she confesses to Jack and worries that her relationship with Roberto is over. Jack comforts her and then goes to sincerely ask Mark to back off and not ruin things for Haley if he really cares about her. Sydney also goes to Jack for advice but keeps interrupting until Jack tells him to just listen to people instead of talking about himself so much. Meanwhile, Brian and Rebecca hook up. Brian goes up to give a different speech which is more heartfelt and moving. Mark then goes up to the mic, seemingly getting ready to reveal the affair again, but after some hesitation, he wishes Haley and Roberto a happy relationship. She goes to see him one last time, thanking him for that. Elsewhere, Chaz and Amanda break up, but on pleasant and mutual terms. Sydney then meets a wedding guest named Christina, whom he had made a fool of himself himself in front of in the previous timeline. Jack finds Tina and apologizes to her for how he acted and admits things didn't go as planned for him. He mentions that he wanted to kiss her when they had last seen each other and thought he felt a connection. She admits that he wasn't wrong about it. They say farewell and Jack goes to sit at the bar. Brian joins him and gets ready to make peace with not pursuing his acting career until Vitaly comes by to tell him that he was moved by his speech and gives him his card to call his assistant to arrange a role in next movie. Seeing this as a big sign that things can work out if possible, Jack runs off to find Dina. He manages to catch her in the street and goes to kiss her until an old acquaintance of Dina's tries to talk to her. Jack tells him to fuck off and he finally gets to kiss her. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comment section below which movie you want us to recap next. As always, until the next time.